I want to talk a little bit about gossip, the history of gossip, and how it became such a problem. So, gossip wasn't always a bad thing, but now, if you're like, oh, they're gossip, or oh, don't listen to them, they're gossip, it's problematic. So, gossip started like a bajillion years ago, and it really wasn't about gossip per se. That's a negative term that now exists. It happened because like you'd be out all day foraging, picking berries, whatever, and when you would get back to the campfire with your squad, you'd be like, "Yo, Queen, I had to switch spots." So you would get back to the campfire and you'd be like, "Yo, Queen, bestie, I found the best berries down by this creek, or I found, you know, whatever could benefit the group." And so you would share that information, gossip. You would share that information, and then like as time went on, it changed to where like the ladies would be doing needlepoint, like sitting around, and they'd be like, "Don't go to that butcher; he'll cheat you." Or like the conversation would be like, "Oh, I don't date Tony because he's handsy." Whatever. They would just share information because there was no TikTok, there was no power. This is like back in the day when they're just trying to share information, and this was fine and it worked. And like it became problematic when men saw that they were being punished. So like when the town handsy guy couldn't get a date, oh, it's because these women were talking about it. So then all of a sudden it became like, oh, if you gossip, you're a witch. Or like husbands, you need to control your wife, you don't want her to be a gossip. So they would put like these contraptions on your face to shame you, to hold your mouth shut, like whatever it took to silence women, literal machinery to silence women. And I think about that often because it was that communication that was helping women survive, not even thrive, just survive. Like, don't be alone with that doctor, or don't do this, or don't trust this person. It was just information to give power to women, but not even power in the sense that like men expect power, like just staying alive, just protecting yourself. And I think about that often because now, like, think about it now. If you had a job performance review and they were like, "We really like you, but you're a gossip," that's problematic. You're probably gonna be put on a PIP. You're an issue. You're the gossip on the team. That's a problem. But maybe the gossip isn't bad. Yes, there are people that say the wrong thing, or they can be toxic in an environment, sure. But gossip really was about survival and knowledge, and what you knew was powerful. And as we see on this app, the more we know and the more powerful we are as individuals, not dependent on media to tell us what we're supposed to believe, that becomes problematic. And people's accounts are getting banned, flagged, whatever. I don't know how all of that works. I'm still pretty new to this, but it made me think about censorship and like why that's problematic. Because the more you know, the more powerful you are. Because honestly, knowledge is power. You can make all the money in the world, and that's great. Money can make things easier, but it doesn't make you more powerful per se. If you read, if you have knowledge, if you have understanding, if you have connections, that's where your real power is coming from, I guess. But it just makes me think often how the world decided to make gossip negative and attach it to women as the problem, when women were just trying to improve the society that they were living in. And so I think about that often. Or I think about all the times I get asked questions like, "Why do you know that?" Because I did like 2 inches of research. I didn't really dig that hard. Even in my local town, when people are like, "Why do you know that?" Because I attended the town hall. Because I sat and heard it live myself. I didn't wait for somebody to give me the synopsis. I did the investigation. I went and asked the questions. I went and said, "That doesn't make sense to me." And that's well within your right to just ask for clarification. But some people don't like gossip. Would hate to be a gossip. Although at this point in age, I'm ready to be a gossip. I'll tell you what I know if I think it's going to help you or save you. So keep your mouth open, keep your eyes moving. There's stuff going on that we got to talk about.